Good evening, mathematicians. I try not to miss a day, even when I'm rushing to get my thesis in. My thesis is due in a little over 4 hours, and there ain't no way I'm sending it right at midnight. I like to go to bed at a reasonable time. Well, I don't know. I may be up till 11, though. So, anywho. I still wanted to come say hi, because I didn't say hi this morning. Maybe if I open chat, it'd be easier for me to reply to anyone that may or may not be hanging out already. Good evening, Jack Brolin. Welcome to the nighttime stream. Hello, Sawdust Creator. What stream timing is this? It is the kind of stream timing I have when I have to teach in the morning. You have to go to class soon. Yeah. Good day, Phi, as I like to call you. And QB. Hello, QB. Isn't it fun how I spend the first 3 minutes of stream just organizing my windows and doing a bad job at it? As long as I'm having a fun time. Finished up some CeeLo stuff. Nice. Now get ready for my thesis. I definitely need to make some adjustments here. Yeah. Like this, I need to expand on this paragraph, I think. I need to expand on this paragraph, I think. Has Thesis Scramble starts live stream? Yeah. Yeah. What can you do? I've been going hard. I want to say hi to you guys. Hello, Luna. Been trying out Lisp. I've been trying out talking with Lisp. And it's also been kind of fun for me. Making a proof assistant DSL in it. Got shat on by Janalides for the organization of your paper. Well, fair enough. When is my thesis due? At midnight. The first draft is due at midnight. The draft that the committee is going to read is due at midnight. I mean, as much as that sucks, sometimes it's good to have a professional shit on your paper because then it'll make it better. So look at the bright side, I guess. I'm just trying to think, where does it make sense for me to discuss Langlands parameters in this case? Yeah, here. So what do I say? This should be a new paragraph, I guess. Yeah, and this should be longer. Since GLN is split, the L group of GLN will be GLN C times the Gawa group of F. Probably I should cite this. What time is it? For me, it's 7:37 p.m. for me right now. So it's due a little over 4 hours. You're gonna head out and not disturb my thesis scramble with your off-topic rants. Well, if you don't do it, someone else will. Yo, 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 poke toad. I'm cutting it thinner than 0 plus epsilon. Yeah. Thanks for the well wishes. I mean, I think at this point, you know, it's fine. I could probably submit it as is, but you know, I just read, you know, there's always things you could tweak. There's always, better ways I could explain things. I think I put too much technical background. I looked at some of what my academic siblings did, and they're just like, oh yeah, here's the equivariant derived category. It's you can kind of think of it like this, and then they just whoop, doot, doot, doot. I'm like, maybe I didn't need to give like the full blown definition. Whatever. Where did I define L groups? Where did I define L groups? Algebraic groups? And the Langlands correspondence. Surely it's in here. Yeah. What do I call this section? Did I have a label? LLC. I just called it LLC. Okay. As in LLC, I shall remind the reader. I shall say to the reader, if dost thou remembereth thine section, LLC, thou shalt find yeah. Oh, and yeah, here Vogan writes, this would be, actually, I should write this as the L group of GLN, right? Frederick jumping in with a message and then immediately retracting. Do I want to hyphenate semi-direct? I've tried to take the stance of not hyphenating as many words as possible, just because certain sources I didn't like hyphenate multi-segments, so I tried to stop hyphenating. It doesn't matter. This is something for the revisions after my actual defense. You define the following pre-order of predicates. What does bar x mean? Is that the negation? Phi is less than psi. Means t applied. I don't know shit about logic. Despite watching your videos, I don't know anything. And you can't make me. Actually, might be able to. So actually, I should maybe even move this up sooner. Your general guess is that things I think are issues will turn out to be fine. Some random thing you didn't consider will draw some ire, and it will all work itself out in the end. Yes, I think you're absolutely right. And yet, that is not going to stop me from being a weird little pedant about things. Up until the very last minute. Despite the fact that you are objectively correct. Since it's split, hence every Langlands parameter phi WF2 the L group, which I'll write as GLN times gal F can be written as phi wx equal to phi prime wx w for a homomorphism phi prime wf prime to glnbc. And there should be a prime there as well. We should prime our V group. Bar x is just a list of xi. Okay. Phi is below / stronger than psi if your theory T proves that phi... Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That seems like the most meaningful pre-order anyone could define in all of mathematics. I have a pre-order on the orbits of my varieties here, but it's probably a very different pre-order. Such a pre-order is really an arrow in a category over the context of variables. This is the image of the hyperdoctrine functor. What the hell? Such a pre-order is really an arrow. Thesis is due today, Leo. Thesis is due today. You're curious, though, how do these theses work anyways? You studied mechanical engineering and didn't start getting interested in uni-level math until you stumbled across recursive relations through formal power series, ansatz in a differential equation. That's cool. That's interesting. We all have our own path to freaky things. Yeah, every category is a pre-order. That's true. Or that's not spooky. You're right. But I don't know what this pre-order is an arrow. Oh, in a category. Yeah, but then you say fiber over the context of variables. I don't know what you mean there. How these theses work? Defense is March 16th. Which reminds me, I need to email someone to see if I can record it and put it on this channel. Yeah. But someone asked how these defenses work. How these theses work. Yeah, basically, you come up with some original math, and you put it all together in one big document, and then you send it to your committee. And in my case, I'm sending it to my committee tonight, and then in 3 weeks from now, I will have to defend it. They have 3 weeks to read my thesis and attack, and then I must defend. YouTube has already eaten 2 of your innocuous comments, and you're a blue guy. Yeah, that's very weird. YouTube's just eating a lot of innocuous comments lately. Or maybe you're claiming that they're innocuous, but really, you're the one. You've been saying some crazy shit. So, I don't know. Every selection of variables is a context. Okay. For every such choice, you can look at the predicates and how they imply each other. I see. And then so you get like a category, a slice category over that or something. Not quite a slice category, but I think I understand what you're saying. Algebra non-commutative. What did I study for undergrad? I don't know, everything. I studied all the courses I could. Algebra, number theory, analysis, so on and so forth, complex analysis. One day I'll do a transcript reveal from my undergrad. It's terrible. It is not good. Defense starts now. You'll lead wave 1, who is with me on offense. You wish you could attend these more often. The timing almost never works out. Yeah, maybe I know. I've floated the idea around for a while of doing later streams, but it just works out better for me during my day if I just get it, I get it out of the way early. The hyper doctrine is mapping the category of context to the category. Why is it called hyper doctrine, I just feel like that word scares, It's just a crazy-ass word. It's such a crazy-ass word. Hyper doc. Why is it gonna be called hyper doctrine? It sounds insane. It makes it sound insane, Hyper doctrine. What a crazy term, Why don't just call it the shoobly woobly? Oh, you know what? This is not also in line with my notation. I should have written this as /r times whatever. I don't even know why this sentence is here, actually. I don't need that. Hello, appetite resolver. Serious question for chat and K. If you could fart without pooping, would you? I can't even imagine what that would be like, Leo. I can't even imagine. Modern cat theorists aura farming on the NLab. Yeah. I suppose doctrine is better than calling it yet another thing, class, or set, or group, yeah. You're an undergrad. You're officially in electrical engineering, but still taking pure math courses. Nice. So you like math, but you also want to have a job in the future. It sounds like a good plan. But how does one make a living off mathematics? Well, you make a living off of mathematics by officially being an electrical engineering and getting a job as an electrical engineer. That's how you make money off math. Or you try to become a math professor. Or you, I don't know. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of careers in applied math. In pure math, maybe not so much. There's a lot of careers in applied math. Sheaves is good. Stacks is defensible. Yeah. Those are like descriptive terminology. But why the term doctrine, Why would I call it why would I call what you've described there? Why would doctrine be a good, And then whenever the word hyper gets thrown in, I feel like the word hyper makes me hyper. You know what I mean? Someone's like hypercolemology. I'm like, well, no one could understand that. And it's pretty basic, but you hear that word, like, oh god. Saw a post on X that the main lean account starting a program to formalize all of computer science. Yeah, why not? Formalizing all of math is too small a project. They outline all subfields. I wonder how computer scientists feel about that. Why is a stack called a stack, though? I mean, actually, I think the reason why it's called the stack comes from the French. Or maybe it's just because you're stacking a bunch of random bullshit together. How about that? Therefore, we can and will simply treat Langlands parameters as homomorphisms from WF prime into GLNC. Nice. That's what I want. How do I eat my corn? I don't know. I know you're asking because of the algebra analysis thing, but to be honest, I don't know. I don't know how I eat my corn. Therefore, we can and will simply treat Langlands parameters as homomorphisms from here to here. So actually, I could go back and replace this now. I should say something that I will say. This will be GLN is split indeed. This will be, I mean, when I write GLN, I mean like the quasi-split form of GLN, which is split. Yeah. You Googled it. It says the term doctrine in category theory was suggested by Levere. Beck's choice of the word was intended to denote a theory of theories. Okay. I'm coming around to it. Tell you what, Pajama Man. Maybe I will eat some corn on stream, and we'll see. Because I could tell you, right? I mean, clearly, I'm more of an algebra guy. I did get this at a book drive. They were giving away a bunch of books recently, and you know, 2 theory was sitting right there. Yeah. Yeah. Screw doctrine. What should I say? I'll say something like, yeah, no, I'll just leave it here, and then maybe I'll make a comment in the later place where I wanted to make a further comment about it. So maybe it's fine as I've written it. You got better books at the drive than me? Like what? What did you get? What did you get that compares? I got that, and I got Set Theory by Yek. I don't see what you could have that beats that. Yeah. Locale. Lots of CS research stuff you're doing right now would be helpful if you knew more analysis. Well, maybe we'll all be starting a big analysis arc, big analysis era for all of us. By the action of WZ, yeah. Maybe I should mention this somewhere else, though. Maybe I should drop it below. Yeah, where does this go? I don't think I... Do I even need to mention that? Do I even really need to mention it? Maybe it could be a comment down here. But let me wrap it in commenting it out. I may not even need it. I guess I should mention it because technically, Vogan does take a slightly... Actually, that should probably go in the introduction then. Yeah, let's see. Let's go over... What do I want to cite for that? I guess we've got Gross and Reader over here. Right. But is that even in the general case? Because they also, I swear, that they're implicitly assuming their groups are split. The if false and then ending it with the if false. If you put if false and then slash phi, then everything in between there gets commented out in a big block. Counter examples in topology analysis, as well as Popper Rudin. Okay, I guess those are pretty good. Those are pretty good finds. You think the hyperdoctrine is mostly just a category version of Lindenbaum-Tarski algebra? Well, I don't know what that is either. Speaking of Yek, you borrowed 2 higher recursion theory books, and they're really hard to even get started. That's why you gotta do lower recursion theory instead. What if you have a math question? Would I pause this whole thesis thing for it? No. In fact, I should probably log off and just and get back to being focused, to being locked in. You're getting around to like the net's definition of continuous functions. I have this functional analysis paper I want to read that has one of my undergrad professors has his name on it, and I think there's some stuff about nets I should. Is mayonnaise a functor? Yes. What's 9 plus 10? It's the mayonnaise functor. I think that's what that Smashing Pumpkin song is about, actually. So they just say reductive group here. But now, if we look... Dun, dun, dun. I should probably just Control F to find the word split if they say it. Yes, let's see. Mayanoid in the category of endofunctors, of course. Yeah, can't believe I got that wrong. You think the core reason we like continuous functions is because of sequential continuity? I don't know. I work with a lot of continuous functions without a metric in sight. Yeah, so here's the thing. By replacing... For local Langlands corresponds a classical notion of a representation of the Weil group must be refined in 2 ways. Yeah, and they talk about a complex reductive Lie group. So obviously that's going to play the role of the dual group of a root system. But they're not talking about the L group, and then that makes me think that's exactly in the case where the p-adic group you're dealing with is split. That's when you can take it to just be a homomorphism into the dual group. And so I'm just a little confused because I would have thought, right? Maybe there'll be something else here. Yeah, it's just very confusing to me. Although I guess, I mean, yeah, it's still very confusing to me. Also, some places I see people... Why do I see this? Some people do the minus n over 2 minus s. 6, 7. Oh! I see. Huh. The local L function, since each operator commutes with n up the scalar, the kernel is an invariant subspace preserved by Frobenius. The local L function is defined like this. And then they say this. Oh, that's because the local L function. That's because the local L function. I see. The local L function doesn't. Right. That's just on the space V. That's just on the space V. And then he's factoring it in terms of sim. So I don't need to. So I could change the way I define L functions in my thesis. At this point, I don't know if I'm going to. Maybe I'm a Zariski schizoid. I mean, I do need, but it's very interesting stuff because, like, so by the way, in my thesis here, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm doing about, the equivariant derived category. And it's so interesting. The main reference for equivariant perverse sheaves as I'm using them is perverse sheaves and applications to representation theory. And in here, it's very interesting, right at the start of chapter 2, he says the fact, let me read it to you. Bedtime Stories with Papa K. We emphasize that sheaves will always be considered with respect to the analytic topology. The analytic topology is much better suited to applying results from chapter 1, blah, blah, blah. Nevertheless, from now on, the terms open and closed should generally be understood to refer to the Zariski topology. When the analytic topology is needed, we'll usually explicitly say analytic open set. Which is it's very interesting that that's the case. So all of this stuff, the complex geometry that I have going on, it's, we need the variety language somehow a little bit, but ultimately the sheaves are all analytic. And then a very similar kind of thing happens on the other side, right? Because it's like, I'm taking algebraic groups, which in this case, it means like a functor, right? Functor, a sheaves perspective. But the topology that we put on these algebraic groups is, again, the topology inherited from the p-adic numbers. Go figure. There's still a limit notion in terms of zooming into filters. Really? Many things descend from algebraic to complex analytic. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole gaga thing, I know. But it's weird. It's just interesting. It's just interesting that we spend all this time talking about these varieties and building up this variety machinery. And then we're just like, screw it. And we're just going to do not that topology instead. And so, yes, you say many things descend from algebraic to complex analytic, but then what about the p-adic world? I mean, somehow, morally, it should still be true. Yes, and then you could take the closure and choose an isomorphism or something, but then that doesn't work topologically. I don't know. Shit's weird, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say. Anywho, okay. I've distracted myself enough. Time to lock in and finish up. So, QED!